What's going on YouTube, YEAAAAAAAA Productions? Thanks very much for tuning in. In today's video, we're going to be unboxing this bad boy right here. It's the Hollyland Mars 400S. It is a wireless HDMI unit, and I'm going to be connecting it with my GH5 rig, which I use handheld and on a tripod, and I plan to also be setting it up with my Ronin S along with my GH4. This is a brand new product that just hit the market, and I'm excited to unbox it today and review it and test it with you guys. I might not be able to cover everything into this video, but I do plan to make future videos with the Mars 400, so stay tuned for those if you guys are interested to see more detailed review after maybe a few months use. I plan to use this right off the bat when I'm filming a soccer game or a sports game, a basketball game or a hockey game for an example, and all the parents kind of maybe want to watch the game, but maybe they want to see what I'm filming. This will allow my client and the spectators to be able to sit on the other side of the field and connect with their app via the Hollyland app, which is called HollyView, and it will allow them to view it right there on their mobile device while they're on the other side of the field. Also, another great feature, it goes up to 400 feet, guys, so like all in all, it has so many great features right out of the box. I'm excited to test it out with you guys. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Go ahead and subscribe right now. I'm going to be loading videos weekly as I have been, as I do have another YouTube channel called YEAAAAAAAA TV. This channel is called YEAAAAAAAA Productions, and I want to grow this channel, YEAAAAAAAA Productions, even bigger than my other channel, YEAAAAAAAA TV. I have a great goal that I want to hit, and I need you guys to help me out. Let's get at it. Let's open up the Hollyland Mars 400S, and let's see what comes inside this, get it mounted. Let's check it out. Okay guys, let's have a closer look at the Hollyland Mars 400S and see what comes included inside the box. We have the transmitter and receiver, and as you can tell, I've already installed the antennas on both. And Hollyland did include one extra antenna for us, just in case we lost ours or broke ours. So that was very thoughtful of Hollyland. Thank you very much for including that extra antenna. Next, we have this AC-DC adapter, which is going to allow us to plug the unit into the wall and power it via this cable here. So this is a nice feature as well, just in case we do not want to power it via the batteries and we're going to be stationary and we do have a power option source. We can plug it into the wall and power the unit that way. Next, we have this metal L bracket and this 1/4-inch thread screw that's going to allow us to mount our transmitter onto our rig. Next, we have this cold shoe mount, which is going to allow us to mount our receiver onto our director's cage. We also have this USB to Type-C adapter, which is going to allow us to update any future firmware updates. And here is that extra spare antenna that Hollyland included for us. So now that we looked at all the parts and we've seen what's included inside the Mars 400S. So guys, here's a closer look at the Mars 400S receiver and transmitter side by side. I am almost ready to power these guys on right now and start mounting them to my rigs. But first I want to have a closer look at the unit themselves and see what kind of inputs and outputs and power options, and just get a little bit more familiar with the unit before we start mounting them and powering them on. So let's dive into it right now. So let's start off with the transmitter. Right off the hop, the transmitter and the receiver both have an OLED display screen. From there, we do have the 3 buttons on the front, which in the middle button is the menu/OK button, and the buttons on the left and right are the up and down options. So turning the transmitter on the side, at the bottom we have the DC input, so we can power this via the AC-DC adapter. Right above that we have the on and off switch to turn on and off the unit. So having a look at the back of the transmitter, you can see this is the location where we're going to be installing the battery to power this unit. And I will say that this button right here is the lock for the battery, so that is a nice little feature to make sure that the battery does not come out. Take note of the scan code here on the bottom left hand side, as this is the code that we're going to be scanning to pair up with our mobile devices using the Hollyland app, which the app is called HollyView. So taking a look at the bottom of the transmitter, you can see that we do have the 1/4-inch thread mounting option. So turning the transmitter over to the other side, starting off at the top, we do have the Type-C input, which is going to allow us to update this with any upcoming future firmware updates updates. So that is a great feature, which also tells you that this company, Hollyland, has some future plans for their product. If they're going to have somewhere to update firmware, that tells you that they're thinking about the future and they're here for a long time. So that is also a very nice option right there. Underneath that, we have the HDMI in, the HDMI input right underneath the Type-C. And right below that, we do have the SDI input. Having this SDI input is not only future-proofing this product right here, but it is also allowing me to be able to be hired onto larger production film sets where they may use a camera which requires SDI input, and now I would be able to use this in a larger, more professional production film set, as I do have the option to supply them with SDI or HDMI. So this is future-proofing and also very convenient. So now let's look at the receiver. We do have the same OLED display screen. We also have the same 3 buttons on the front there, the menu/OK button and the up and down button on either side of that. So at the back of the receiver, we also have a location to mount a battery. So on this side of the receiver, we do have the same Type-C input for firmware updates, and we do have the HDMI output and the SDI output. At the bottom of the receiver, we also have the 1/4" thread mounting option, so we can mount this on a director's rig if we like, or tripod, or whatever you have. You can easily mount it, so that also is a great feature. So I think it's a good idea to point out that both the transmitter and receiver have cooling fans, which is meant to cool down the unit while in use. With that being said, if you plan to mount your transmitter close to your camera microphone, or your internal camera mic, or your external camera microphone, if you have the transmitter very close to it, maybe that fan might pick up some audio and get recorded from that microphone. So now that we have power on the transmitter and the receiver, and they're both synced to channel 1, I'm ready to mount this to my rig right now. So let's go ahead and see what kind of mounting options we have and how I'm going to mount this to my rig. Okay guys, I got the GH5 set up with the Mars 400S, and it's connected to my TV. I'm ready to put on my jacket right now, head outside, go for a little walk, and see how much distance I can get with this bad boy. Okay, so I'm just walking away from the studio right now. I'm gonna head upstairs just to give you an idea how far I am going with the transmitter away from the receiver. So I'm gonna put on my shoes now. I should actually put on my boots because we got some snow outside here in Toronto, Canada. And I'm definitely gonna need a jacket. So I wonder how the video transmission's coming through right now as I'm on the 2nd floor. I think this hood should be good enough. So let's step outside and see how the video is. Oh, I'm gonna have to adjust my exposure, and I probably should adjust my white balance since it is like mad sunny out here today. So there we go. So I just adjusted my shutter, or my exposure, briefly for this outdoor environment. I wonder how the video is coming through. I'm gonna go for a little bit further walk and see how the transmission comes through after this test. Super bright out here, so I'm outside. I'm like at my neighbor's house right now, and the TV is downstairs streaming the signal. Alright, so you know what, I wonder how far, if this is gonna work. Let's head back right now. Let's see how this is. Oh, it's super bright out here, man. I can use some sunglasses too. So I'm outside my house. We're gonna walk back in. Everyone inside is being able to watch right now, stream through the TV. So I'm ready to head back in. So we're back inside now. Marco, can you see me on the TV? Can you? Sick. Yo, Marco's downstairs, my little buddy, and he says he can see me downstairs on the TV. We're gonna walk back down here.
I see you right there now.
Do you?
Yeah, right there again.
What?
Daddy's right there.
This is sick, bro. Was it? How far did you see me outside?
Like,
did you see me go all the way outside?
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah. Like, do it again. It was like doing like crazy things. It was making your face crazy.
Oh, was glitching a bit?
Yeah, glitching.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was.
Uh-oh. So my son was saying that it was glitching over here. I gotta go back through this test and see how far I was able to go, guys. So let's check this out. So as you just saw from that test right there, with my GH5, I went for a walk with the transmitter and I was able to go as far as just outside my front door. As soon as I stepped outside my front door, I was starting to see some glitches from previewing the footage that we just saw right there. So I would say that if you're not in clear direct sight, in line of sight with the transmitter and the receiver, you're going to get some of those glitches. Okay, let's do a quick latency test to see what kind of delay we're going to get from this Mars 400S. Already in general, the GH4 and the GH5 and Panasonic cameras, from my understanding, already have a slight delay from the HDMI cable to a standard monitor. In general, there is a delay, which I've noticed myself. Now we're going to be using this Mars 400, so I wonder how the delay and the latency is going to work. So let's do a quick test right now. As you can see, I have my GH5 focused on the Hollyland box right here, and it's displayed on my TV. So I'm simply just going to put my hand in front of the lens, in front of the camera, and see the reaction time from when it actually happens to what happens on the screen, what we're visually looking at. Alright, 1, 2, 3, go. Go. So there you have it, guys, a quick latency test with the Mars 400S connected right here to my TV.